Hey folks, it's Guy here, how you doing? Welcome back to Estancia Lapacho, and that one is just about to stop. Any second now, gonna do a little, there we go. Tiny little bit, and it stopped. So we need to just go back through here and get that one. And we can start that one up, and then I can get the cultivator going over there, which should be running already. And what we want to do today is finish doing the ploughing. When I get that job finished, get it done, and then we don't have to worry about it anymore. It is completed. And we can also get the cultivator up there, and that one can cultivate up the field and do all of the stuff that it's got to do up there. We're also going to have to go and get yet more seed so that we can reload the big seed drill over there. That one is very soon going to run out of seed as well. So we got a lot to do, a lot to get done today. Then we got to decide whether or not I'm going to go and deal with the plateau first, or if I'm going to go up and I'm going to move this one over here a minute. Just going right over here out the way so that it's not going to be, hopefully that won't be in the way of anybody. I don't know if it will or it won't be, but yeah, I want to be, I don't know whether to go up and plow up the plateau first or go and do the little bit that we've got set aside that we're going to be using for the cows first. I'm not quite sure which one. Oop, I didn't actually mean to do that. I meant to do that. Just start it up and get it going. There we go. Right, he's away doing that little job there. Yeah, I'm not quite sure which way round that we're going to do it. We will eventually get there. We will do something with it, but yeah, that'll probably be in tomorrow's episode that we make that final decision, because we've got other things that we need to do today. So that one is busy going there. And when it's done that field there, then it's just got those two bits over there. And it won't... Well, actually, I don't know. Because it's ploughed land, it may do the entire thing. So we're going to have some of it is going to sort of be double ploughed. But I think we can live with that. It's only going to be like a small bit of it that is going to end up being double ploughed. Most of it is... No. Actually, most of it will end up being double ploughed. What am I saying? Of course, most of it will end up being double ploughed. We've done so much work up here. But anyway... My weekly question before we go any further is, this end here is where on the plateau we're going to be doing a little bit of work. We're going to remove all the trees, and then we're going to plough it up, and we're going to have a field up here. Do you want me to plant root crops up here, bearing in mind that it's quite uneven ground up here, so it's going to be a significant challenge if we decide to do it. So do you want me to do some root crops up here? One harvest of root crops. I won't go right out to the edges. I'll keep it in a bit for doing root crops, but yeah, do you want me to give it a go, or do you think it'd be better if we kept the root crops up here in a small flat field where we don't actually have to worry about hills and falling off the side and other such minor details like that? So it's your vote, it's your game. Head into the comment section down below, let us know which one you want and why, and of course don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right hand corner. And we are going to go through and we are going to finish this ploughing today. I am confident that finally, at long last, we will be able to finish this ploughing. We're going to come up through here. Ooh, we've actually got a tree stump that I can't go over with the plough, which is a bit of a novelty, actually, because most of the tree stumps that we've encountered lately have just been sort of going right over the top of them with the plough. And now it would appear that we have finally found the one that has stopped us. There's going to be another one in here somewhere, I'm sure of it. Oh, there it is. The plough actually went either side of it. And there's another one here. Where's that one? Oh, there it is. It's that one there. I can see the white on the top of it, so I'm going to lift up and go over that one. And then I'm going to drop down in again. We got a lot of work to do up here with the stump grinder. We'll be coming in through. The plough stump grinder combination has got quite a lot to do once we come back up here. We're hopefully not actually going to have to worry about it too much up on the top of the plateau, because we're going to be using the stump grinder combination, the Bruck's Big Daddy. We'll be able to do the entire lot all at once just using that one, and we're not going to have to worry about doing all of this extra work besides, and then we can just take the plough and we can whiz right through. But the point of that though, that might be difficult. With this plough, it might actually be difficult. We may end up having to use the stump grinder machine type thing that we've got on the front of the skid steer in order to be able to turn that into ploughed land, because of just how uneven it is. I got a feeling that this plough may not cope very well with the severely rough ground that we've got up there. We might end up having to just sort of not do it like... Ooh, we went over that stump, all right. yeah, we may end up not being able to do it how we want. We may end up having to go and get a smaller one. We'll be able to do the bulk of it with this one. The bulk of it will work with this plough, and this is the widest one we've got. I had a few people suggesting that we should use the Jimper plough, the subsoiler that we were using in the Goldcrest Valley series a very long time ago now. I've decided against using that one because it's a subsoiler and not a plough. I know it does produce the plough effect in the game. I just figured it would be better to use an actual plough rather than using a subsoiler, and we did already use it. We've used this one a bit, and most notably I think we used this one in the Plateau Valley, the New Zealand one, but we weren't able to, I mean obviously that was one of the ones along, crashed again, along with the Rattlesnake Valley. Unfortunately I did lose that save game. It's quite a while ago now, wasn't it? But yeah, I did end up losing that save game, so I wasn't able to continue on with that series. But yeah, we used this plough in that series, and it seemed to do all right. It did seem to sort of fit reasonably well with that map, but I don't think we used it anywhere else. I used it in the time-lapse, but I figured, the time-lapse is a little bit different. I don't tend to, if I use something in time-lapse, that's fine, but I sort of count that as separate. And speaking of the time-lapse, I will very soon be changing maps. We're at the end of March now, and as I'm doing one episode per week of the time-lapse, and that's not going to change. So I need to be changing over very, very soon, in fact, in order to be able to get a decent series in for the final map. And I'm having a look around at different ones. Now, I know not everybody who watches this series likes the time-lapse series, so obviously, those of you, this is just for those of you who do watch the time-lapse series as well. I'm trying to decide what map to do next. Now, a lot of people want me to play the, Oak Field Farm or Oak something. I'm not going to be playing that one. I'm ruling that one out immediately, and I will not be playing that map. The reason is, it's set in the UK. I will not be playing a UK-based map for the final map for the time-lapse. I did Goldcrest Valley, which is set in the States, and then I did Rattlesnake Valley, which is also set in the States. Then I came over to the UK, and we've done Dowland Farm, which is UK. That was up in Yorkshire. And now I've done Sandy Bay, which is southwest UK. So I've done 2 maps in the US, 2 maps in the UK. My aim now will either be in South America on this map, or it'll be somewhere on mainland Europe. And I don't know which one it's going to be yet. I'm going to put it up for a vote. It is actually going to go for a complete vote. I'll probably do like an extra video and put a vote in, and I'll also put a vote in on the next time-lapse, potentially. I'm not quite sure yet. It'll almost certainly be a question in the community section of the channel. So lots of people can have their say about which map we go to. I'm still trying to make final decisions on which maps I'm going to be offering as choices, because I've got to look around the maps very, very carefully. However, many of you who watch this channel will also watch Sinikadu. He's got about 75,000 subscribers at the moment, and he does some really cool stuff. And he uses a map called Under the Hill, and he gets early access to that map. Every single iteration of Farming Simulator, it's had a couple of versions of it done now, and he does quite a lot of stuff on the Under the Hill map. It has just recently been released onto ModHub, and I've taken a look around it. It's a really cool little map, but it's a small map, right? It's not suitable for big machinery. It's definitely not suitable for big machinery. That is a small map which would be suitable for small machinery only. We wouldn't be able to do big scale farming on that map. It's one that I really like though, so I'm going to be putting that one up as one of the options that you will have for the... We're really getting stuck on... Oh, that's why. It's quite a high stump, that one is. It's about the level height of the tractor, but because I'm sort of up in the air, I can't quite see it very well. Yeah, we will be that will be one of the options. So it'll be small, probably quite a few older tractors as well. I mean, I'll use new tractors on there as well as older ones, but it's sort of a brilliant opportunity for using small old machines as well as some new machines as well. There won't be big machinery on that map if that is the one that is picked. So I know that quite a lot of people have said, I've had a lot of comments over the last year or so, that they would really like to see me do a small little map with lots of old machinery on it. Kind of like the style that we tried to do to start with Gorala, but obviously time-lapse rather than a let's play. With the Gorala, I ended up sort of switching to bigger machinery later on because that's what people wanted me to go to, but we did start out doing lots of small machinery. So Sinikadu has asked if I could play that map because he knows the map creator quite well, and so they've requested that I at least take a look at it and consider it. So I've taken a look at it, and I think it would be a lot of fun to take a look around that, to be able to do that map. So if you've not seen Under the Hill before, or you're unfamiliar with Sinikadu, go and take a look at his channel. He's in my recommended channels list, and we're sort of, you know, we both do farming simulator stuff, but we have different approaches to it. His ones are quite artistic in style, and he doesn't have a lot of subtitles to it. He'll put, it's just music and a small task being done. It's very, very relaxing. It's an awesome style. It's an awesome approach to making the videos for Farming Simulator. He does do some Let's Plays as well, but the main videos for me that he does some real-life videos as well, him looking at various real-life machinery in Eastern Europe, where he lives, and Slovenia. I'm pretty sure he lives in Slovenia. I'm not quite sure about that, though. I could be wrong. Yeah, the style that he does is absolutely brilliant. It's absolutely awesome. Yeah, just sitting and watching those videos. They're only like 10-15 minutes, and it's really quite peaceful the way that they go through. He goes through and he completes each and every job, and you'll get some bits that's slightly sped up, but a lot of it is all about just getting nice tractor angles and watching them working in the fields at the various different tasks. So if you haven't seen his channel and you're really into Farming Simulator, go and take a look at it. I really urge you to take a look at that channel. He's really good. And so yeah, the Under the Hill, if you're a fan of his channel, you'll be very familiar with the Under the Hill map. He uses it a lot, and he's done a lot of videos on Under the Hill, both in FS17 and FS15, and I think even before then he did videos on it, although I'm not quite sure about that because I haven't looked back in his the older catalogue of his videos. Aside from that one, there are a few others that I'm considering as well. I'm aware that both of our tractors have run out of seed. I just wanted to finish this little section along the top here before I go and refill the seeds. But yeah, other maps that I'm considering, I'm not quite sure at the moment. I was toying with the idea of Dutch polder, but I don't think I will, because it could end up getting a little bit tedious. I know that we got this nice big open land, and it would be pretty cool, and I know there are quite a few people that would like to see me do it, but at the same time it does run the risk of, in a long series, starting to get a bit samey and repetitive. So I'm probably not going to go for that one. I may do, but probably not. Now, I was also considering doing a logging map, or at least offering a logging map, where we start out with logging and we move towards doing arable. So we clear all the trees away, and then eventually we move to doing full arable on the map. There wouldn't be any animals on it. Unfortunately, the maps that are available are only based in the US. So, I mean, I could just say that they are somewhere in mainland Europe, and we could do it like that, because that is the stipulation for the maps I'm looking at. I'm going to end up offering 4, maybe 5 maps for you to choose from, but the main stipulation is that they cannot be UK or US based maps, because I've done 2 of each. I want to go somewhere else. We're going to a different country than either the US or the UK. So possibly the logging maps, because those could very easily A couple of we got, I think there's 2 logging maps on Mod Hub. There may even be 3, I think. One of them was snow-based one. But yeah, the logging maps that are available, they could very easily be in mainland Europe as well as... I know that they are technically based in the US, but they could easily also be in mainland Europe. So I could make an exception on there just because of, you know, where they can potentially be based. But other than that, I'm still making my mind up. I'm looking through. Most likely, I will only select the ones from Mod Hub, because it makes it a lot easier for people to follow along and play as well. I deliberately took Sandy Bay this time. And I wanted to play Sandy Bay for a while, but I also took one that was available on consoles, because I know a lot of console players like to play along with the time-lapse series, and it's quite important to you to be able to do that. So I made sure that you had that option. This time I'm not just going to limit it to the console versions. I will look at all of the maps, but I'm almost definitely only going to be selecting maps from what are available on Mod Hub. I say almost definitely. If I see a map in the next few days that really tickles my fancy that is not on Mod Hub, then I will also consider doing that. But anyway, we have rattled on about that long enough. Let's go and get our truck over here somewhere. It's going to be here eventually. Right, so the big bud completely run out. There we go. Right, so we'll get this one going. We'll go and start the seed drill again in a minute. The seed drill, the corn, the row crop planter. Then we will go and top up the big bud. And then we're going to run back to the shop. We're going to get more fertilizer and more seed. And then we're going to come back here yet again, and we should be good to go. So we're going to bring that one in round there like that. I do love the maneuverability of this one when it's on the back of the truck. It's really good. If we were to just put it... we could just do it on the trailer. I haven't actually tried that yet. Main reason being is I don't want to have to try and back that thing up while it's sitting on a trailer. Some of you may. Some of you may think that that is actually a really cool thing to try and do, but no, it's not for me. I do not want to back that one up while it's sat on a trailer, because it's going to be... Do you know how difficult that would be? Yeah, you do know how difficult that would be. You can see how difficult it would be to try and back this thing up while it's sat on the little transport trailer that it has. It'll be almost completely 100% almost impossible. Almost completely 100%. Not absolutely 100%. You get the idea. Once we've done the fertilizer, once we've done this and then we've gone and reloaded with seed, we're going to need to feed the cows. The cows do need to be fed fairly soon. We might actually do that next. I might just load this one up a second, and then we'll run off and feed the cows. We can load up. We're going to need to do probably a couple of loads for them, but we can at least do one. Get one load in for them so that it's ready. And then the cows will be happy. They will be fed, and it'll last them for another day or two, so that we can worry about other things. It would help if the seed went in there rather than anywhere else. Let's drop that in there. I don't know how much seed goes in. I can't remember. I'm going to empty this one out. I'm sure of it. There we go. Completely emptied out. So we'll start this one up again, and then we can run down to the shop. What are we at? 55%. Is that all? It's not very much. If I close that one up, and then I do that, and I will run over here so that I'm out of the way, and it's off. It's away. Whoosh. So let's go and grab this one, and then we can race up to the shop, and we will get a little bit more fertilizer, and... yeah, I'll get a... I might as well fill this thing up with fertilizer while we're going there, and we can also get the seeds that we need as well. Last couple bits. We get that one, and we get that one, and then we're loaded up. What I'm going to do, though, before we go and do that, let me just switch that one off, because a lot of people have been asking me if I can do something with this one again, and we haven't done anything with this one for a little while, so we're going to go with this one. Let's start this bad boy up, and let's see if I can remember how to use it now. So you get it started like this, and then WS is move, mouse button. Oh yeah, it's the mouse buttons. We use this mouse button to lift, and we use the other mouse button to lower back down again, which is also course play, which is a little bit of a nuisance. I keep meaning to change that, but I never do. So we can turn using this mouse button like this, and then we can start going forwards. I'm just going to lift it up a little bit like this. There we go. And it does actually go at a fair rate of knots. It goes at a decent speed, this thing. We got this camera mode here, and then you've got well, I'm pressing the button oh no, wrong button. No. Which is the camera mode? No. That's not the camera mode. I've got buttons on my steering wheel that I have mapped for camera modes, and it's not changing the camera mode. Let's see what this one says then. Stop engine. No, I don't really want to stop the engine. There is no... Seriously? Right, why is there no thing for cameras? I'm pressing G. Right, it used to be that the camera... You had different camera modes. I can zoom in and out. This one did have different camera modes. You could just press a button for the camera mode. Oh, now it's working. Why weren't you working before? I don't know, but you've got a straight down camera mode. You've got this camera mode here. And then you've got one in front and you've got one underneath. So, I really do like this one. I have used this a bit before, so I know a lot of you have seen this before and seen me playing around with it before. You probably remember I tried using this in Garala and I ended up zooming it off the edge of the map. It used to not have a speed limit. It's got a speed limit on it now. 10k. Oh, no. 10k for the cruise control. I wonder if we can speed that up. No, cruise control doesn't change. Right. This is as fast as it goes now. It used to have a speed on it. It didn't have a speed limiter, and we ended up being able to go insanely fast, and it did turn out to be a bit of a nuisance. It was an absolute jolly nuisance having to do it like, oh no, I want to... That's the button that I want to use. So if I do that, I can go... Look, you can sort of see where the camera view, the view distance and stuff is coming out, and it's acting a little bit weird when we go over this place. But if we go up there, I like this aerial view, but I prefer this one. This looks fantastic. There is our home. There we go. We get rid of that. I think we'll have this as today's screenshot. We've got our beautiful home over there. We've got our cows down on the side. There's the silos over the other end. We should be able to see tractors working in... You know, they're too far away to see the tractors at the moment. We'll go over and have a look at tractors in a minute. But there's the cows. It's quite a good view from up here. We'll go over a little bit further. But yeah, I like this aerial view that we're getting from up here. Bring it around a bit. You know what? I think we will go towards the... If I take this off that camera angle there... There we go. We look straight down now. And we can... There's our pond, although you can't actually see the water in the pond at the moment. And our lovely, lovely house that we've got. I haven't forgotten. I have a request to brutally cut down that tree. The one with the lovely blossom on it there. I'm assuming it's blossom and not pink leaves. But yeah, so somebody wanted me to chop that one down. So we'll do that as the very last thing that we will do. On this entire series, we will chop down that tree. And if we go over a little bit further, we can see our big bud working away in the field. I'm not going to go very far over there, just because I want to be able to turn around and go and land. Let's go and land this thing now. Seeing... Oh, no. Let me change the camera angle. It'll be easier if I do it like this. There we go. That's better. So we're going to bring that one in round that way. And we'll go in here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have to lower it down now. Which means that the cruise, not the cruise control, the courseplay thing is going to come up any second. As soon as I let go of the button. There we go. I let go of the button and that one's come up. That's fine. We can do this. And now I'm pressing the other mouse button for a bit of lift. There we go. Nice. Look at this. Frithgar's doing this like a pro. And we're going to land this one in this shed. Right next to our plane. We got our plane here. There we go. And I'll pull back a little bit. Don't fly into the barrels. Don't hit the barrels. It's only little plastic props, so it's going to probably be all right. We're not going to blow anything up, but you don't really want to take a chance, especially not with aviation fuel. That is seriously explosive stuff. That is dangerous stuff. That is. Right, we can drop down there. I think we're going to have to just switch the engine off. Do that. And switch the engine off like that. There we go. Nicely done. Okay, right, so we've had our little flight around with the drone. I know a lot of you have been asking me to do that for quite a while now, and those of you, I do get the occasional comment, how do we know it's in Paraguay? I've been told that that ZP right there means that this is in Paraguay, so unless the plane has come in from a different country, it is Paraguay, unless yeah, we could be borrowing the plane from another country. I suspect, though, that that is probably unlikely. What I'm going to do here a minute, before we go and get our vehicle back, I'm going to do this one over this side, so that we don't have to manually do the outside run of this field. It'll come back up through, and it'll sort of finish this off quite tidily, if we can get this one to run down here, without causing us any problems. I might be able to. If I just press H here, it should come along to the end of the field, and it should run all the way right down to the very bottom end without turning early. This is the bit that's always a bit of a nuisance, is it sometimes will turn early when you really, really don't want it to. I also can't remember if... I think this is the widest point of the field here. Don't think down there it gets any wider. I think we're all right. As long as it goes past this little bit here, it then moves in slightly for the road. I did allow for the road there. So we might have just the tiniest strip here in a second, which we also missed with the cultivator by the look of it. Yeah, we got a little bit of a strip there that's not actually being planted. I might remember to do that when we come back up through here, but knowing me, I probably won't. And then go on a little bit further, and it will actually... which I meant to do this, so I wouldn't have that little tiny bit left over at the very end. Yeah, that's working out well for me, isn't it? Okay, now we're covered. Now we've got the whole of the field. It's fine. So we can leave that one going there, and I want to get this one, and we want to go back up. We need to go and reload that corn drill yet again. We're going to have to get a bigger seed drill for doing the corn. That one could be a bit of a nuisance, especially with the big field that we've got to go and do up the top. We're steady. We're probably not going to have time to go and do all of the rest of it up there today, because I'd like to go and do all of the stump grinding. I don't know if we're going to get time to do that. We'll at least get... We've got the ploughing done. The ploughing's now finished. We're done with that. We don't need to worry about that any longer. And so the next task is going to be... Yeah, I still don't know. We need to feed the cows. We've got 5% now on base food, which means that we are getting quite low. So that is a fairly important task. We're going to have to get that done quite soon, or the cows are going to start to go hungry. We get a huge amount of money from them at the moment. When it goes past midnight, we get all the milk from them, and we are getting an impressive amount of money. And I like getting impressive amounts of money. That it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside when I get given an impressive amount of money for not actually doing a great deal. We don't do a lot. We have somebody else do our milking. We don't even have to do the milking, which is probably the worst part about keeping dairy cows, is having to go and do the milking. The fact that we've got somebody else to go and do that bit of it does make our life a lot easier. I know several dairy farmers who've said that the single worst part of keeping dairy cows is actually doing the milking. If you didn't have to do the milking and someone else would deal with it all, it'd be wonderful. Life would be so much easier. It'd be a picnic. It's having to get up and do all of that that is the headache of keeping a dairy farm. And, you know, some of them say that the actual, you know, the main reason they'd want to get out of dairy farming is so they wouldn't have to milk them anymore. You know, milking cows is actually hard work. It is a lot of hard work. People who keep a beef farm, they don't have to worry about this. You know, they've got to make sure their cows are fed and happy and so on. But you don't have to get up really early in the morning and go and milk your cows. Whereas if you're running a dairy farm, you've got to get up bright and early, and you've got to go and feed your cows. And if you don't do that, you've got to go and milk your cows. You can't leave it till later. With a beef farm, you don't have to get up at the crack of dawn if you don't want to. You can get up much, much later, and you can go and trot along, and then you can feed your cows. You've only got to do it once a day. You don't have to do it first thing in the morning. Dairy farming, first thing in the morning, you got to go milk your cows. Last thing at night, you got to go milk your cows. And through the whole of the winter, you go into the dairy parlour in the morning, and the cows, and you milk cows and milk cows and milk cows, and you come out, and the sun has risen. And then in the afternoon, you go into the dairy parlour when it's daytime, and when you come out, it's nighttime. You never see the sun set. And you've got to do it 7 days a week. So for 6 months of the year, you never see sunrise or sunset. And I know quite a few farmers that say that is the single most depressing thing about winter on a dairy farm is you never ever see sunrise or sunset. It's just not an experience that you have for 6 months of the year. You don't get to experience it. Some people, it doesn't really make any difference. You don't really care. But there are a number of people that like to be able to at least see the sunset, and it's not something you get to do when you're milking cows. So you're in the dairy, you're in the parlour, and if you're in the parlour, you ain't going to see it. It's just not going to happen. So yeah, there's all kinds of different aspects of farm life that it can get romanticised, and you don't sort of realise until you live it 24/7 that it's not quite as a picnic. It's not quite the picnic that some people made it out to be. Why is that moving? Oh, it's just because of how it's doing it. Right, let's start that bad boy up like that, shall we? Now, we need to have this one on Allow Create Fields as well. Like that. And we can lower it down and we can get started on the last little bit. We got some stumps up here to take out. And then once that's done, we're done. We're finished. It's all done. All completed. And we've got our new field up here. We've done around all of the other ones. Done around that one. That one's been done all the way around. We've done all the bits down the bottom. Remember if I think, yeah, we've still got some stumps to do down the bottom end as well. So we must remember to go and do those before we're finished. And then that's it. We've got our new field up here. We've actually done it. We've completed something that we set out to do. And we haven't, I feel reasonably proud that we've done this in an acceptable time frame. I feel that this has been an acceptable time frame. Definitely for moving up onto the plateau, we do want to do it quicker. We don't want to spend the same length of time up there as we've done down here, because quite frankly that is going to get a little bit dull, but I think we can still do it. So in tomorrow's episode, we will be finishing all of this. We're going to get this job done, completely finished. And then I'll decide whether or not I'll decide how we're going to do the grass for the cows. I may decide to just do a little bit of cheating on that and not actually plough it. I was talking about this before. I feel we've done enough actual ploughing that we can just sort of cheat and use the roller to eliminate all the shrubs and stuff and just go straight for having grass there. And I'm guessing that most of you probably won't mind if I do it like that, just because it's going to speed things up a bit and we're not going to be stuck watching yet more ploughing that we don't need to do. And quite frankly, I think that bit of ploughing would be rather dull to watch as well because of the way that it works. So if we use the roller, we'll be able to go through quite a bit faster and we'll be do the whole thing all in one go. It'll be quite easy. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. We'll see how I feel tomorrow when we get to it, because thinking about it, maybe we do need to prioritize getting the cows some grass. We've got no mowable grass at the moment. Everything is covered in these huge long shrubs, and we do need to be able to sort something out for the cows. Anyway, that's all to come. My weekly question for this week is, what do you want me to do up on that plateau up on the top? Do you want me to try planting some root crops up there just once? It'll only be a one-off. We're not going to do it more than once. It's extremely rough ground, so it's going to be incredibly difficult. It's going to be slow, it's going to be time-consuming, it's going to be very, very difficult, and I don't even know if we're going to be able to do it. We may end up having to give up and plough in a whole load of those crops. Do you want to see me struggling with that, or do you think that is just too much of a time waster and we should just leave the root crops to the field near the pigs and instead concentrate on just growing some arable up there like I said I was going to do originally? It's your vote, it's your game. Head in the comment section down below, let us know which one you want and why, and of course don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right hand corner. Do we grow root crops up on the plateau, yes or no? I'm just going to take this one out. I've got a little tree stuck in the ground over there that I want to get, and there's a little bit right here that I want to make sure I get as well, except that I've got a stump here that is being a little bit difficult, a bit awkward. I've run out of corn again. Oh no, that's the big bud. Yeah, the big bud seems to be using up quite a lot of... We are covering quite a bit of ground with the big bud, so it is fairly understandable that it would do that. Was that just a bit of... No. So what's that? There's a little bit here. What is this little bit? I got the plough. It's allowing create fields. No! This is not good. We've got a bit of permanent grass here that will never be gotten rid of. I don't like it when it does that. There we go. Look, see, there's a little tiny speck. It's only a little bit. but it won't allow us to create a field with it, and it won't allow us to do anything else. This one, that one's in the ground too deep. I can't reach that one either. I wonder if I can tilt the stump grinder over and do it like that. Is that reaching it? Nope. This isn't good. I mean, it should just go straight... Well, I say it should just go straight over the top, but is the game going to read that as a tree and decide that it doesn't like it? And I hope not. We may have to come back to that. Quite sure what we're going to do with that. It might be if I log out and then log back in again, it'll actually deal with it. But so we can take a look at that tomorrow. Anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, then please hit down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.